one day you'll meet the girl you swore you'd never find. Start feeling things you never felt and spending all your time trying to figure out how she got this hold on you. When you start to fall, you hold on to your pride. Start thinking of you also, never let her get inside. You'll push her away, cause that's all you know how to do. And then she'll leave, and you are bad.
First time Garth has ever heard that song Aspen High and O on the radio. Would you please welcome to South by Southwest in Austin, Texas, the country music entertainer of our lifetime, Garth Brooks. What a great song. Welcome, man.
Thank you very much. Wow.
It's been a while since you've been here. Okay, what were your feelings hearing that for the first time on the radio?
I loved it. I get to see all the players play again. You get to see Rob Hajagas do this little kind of ticking clock thing on the front. Rob's the fiddle player that played the introduction on Much Too Young to Feel This Damn Old. So it's cool how the circle's complete. It's also just kind of neat to see how the music changes with other music as it evolves, you know, through time. But the truth is, you could take a song like The Thunder Rolls, you could take a song like More Than a Memory, and you can see the kind of the circles that run throughout that. So that was cool to hear for the first time. It sounds a hell of a lot better on this system than it does in my truck, I can tell you that.
Nothing like it. It's been quite a journey, but we're glad to have you here in Austin for South by Southwest. I'm going to get out of the way because I understand you have got some pretty big announcements. It's going to be a busy weekend in Austin, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And you know, in my gig, they just kind of point you and go. So I'm not really sure what all's going on, but I know that I ate breakfast this morning, so I'm ready to go. We're late. They want to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Garth Brooks.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Very sweet. Hey, Ryan. How you doing? I'm doing good.
Good.
Should I introduce you,
Sure.
Ryan?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure everybody already knows Ryan from Amazon, but this is the gentleman that came down to Nashville, and we actually did the deal in the studio together. Came down and kind of pitched myself and Bob and Randy, the guys that's, you know, Bob's been managing me since day one, publisher since day one. Randy's kind of the new guy. He's about 10 years in right now. And we all sat and talked and just loved what they had to say when it came to streaming. As you guys know, there's probably two other names in streaming as well, and it talks with all of those. And when these guys came down, personally kind of walked us through, kind of fell in love with this cat and what he had to say. So, Ryan, I'm not sure what you're going to say, but I think now it's your turn.
Well, I got a big announcement. Yeah, I'm really excited. Thank you for the kind words. And Garth will also be available this afternoon to talk a bit more about our partnership and where we're at. So yeah, I have the pleasure of announcing tomorrow night, Garth Brooks will be performing a free concert for the residents of Austin, sponsored by Amazon Music. It's at the South by Southwest outdoor stage. It's Lady Bird Lake. I think doors open about 11 a.m. There'll be music all day. Sunny Sweeney's going on at 6:45, and Garth will be going on at 8 o'clock. So once again, a free show. It's pretty amazing to see Garth Brooks for free, and Amazon Music couldn't be more proud to sponsor and work with you on that. So,
very sweet.
Yeah, very excited.
Can you, if I ask you something, can you elaborate on it?
Please do.
Did you say the residents of Austin?
That's correct.
What does that mean? How they know?
So we'll be sending out a press release here in about 15 minutes with the details, but this is for the city of Austin and for the residents there. And so there'll be certain zip codes that apply that are eligible for the free tickets.
Oh, cool.
So those details will be coming out shortly.
Cool.
It's going to be a party.
I just hope somebody shows up.
I think we'll get a few folks there. I feel pretty good about that.
Very sweet. So now, Miss Nancy back there behind the curtain, do we open it up for questions now?
Yes, please.
We do. All right. I don't know about you, man, but I'm not comfortable talking at you. I'd rather talk with you. So if you guys have any questions, now would be the time. And my only request is if we're going to talk to each other, before your question, just please identify yourself so we'll know who we're talking to. And the more toward him, the more intelligent answers you're going to get.
If it's tough, I'm going to pass it back to Garth. So.
Fair enough. Yes, sir.
Gary Graff from Billboard.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Good. Are you down here at South by Southwest hoping somebody will discover you?
Yes.
And then also your general thoughts about being here during South by since it's your first time.
Well, first of all, you hear the myth, the story, the legend, then you come down and see, hey, this is ran very cool. This isn't a cluster at all. It's ran very sharp. Everything goes on time, and pretty cool. We got picked up last night, and it went like clockwork. I'm expecting the rest of the day to do that as well. Just classy, and then what I love about it is there's a freshness on everybody's face down here. And what that freshness is all about is about content. That's what I love. We're going to talk technology, but the truth is, man, everything is based on content. So to get somewhere where content is king, that's where I want to park and where I want to live, right there. So between the gamings, between movies, between music, this is the place to be if you want to know what's happening and feel like you're, 20 years old again. This is the place. Yes, sir. You want to go ahead?
Yeah, Peter Blackstock with the Austin.
Hey, Peter. Yes, sir. Good to see you again.
Yeah, you mentioned that the concert's going to be for Austin residents. Is there any sort of priority for people with South by Southwest badges and stuff?
Yeah, so badge holders will have priority access. The details will come in the press release that you'll see shortly, so that'll come for you guys to have all the details behind that. But yeah, South by Southwest badge holders are also be a priority.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Garth, Greg Pat, Chicago Tribune.
Hey, Greg.
Why did you fold Ghost Tunes? What happened there?
These guys came and we told them, look, this is why Ghost Tunes is here. These are the reasons why it's here. And it's all the things that they believed in their digital downloading system as well. What they brought to the table that Ghost Tunes couldn't do for other artists, streaming and physical as well. We tried physical at Ghost Tunes. It was really, really tough to do that. We were more of a digital-based place. So now here comes a company that can do it on a scale 1 billion times more than Ghost Tunes could do. So we shut down Ghost Tunes to be exclusively with them, asking them to make sure that any artist that asked us at Ghost Tunes to do stuff, they would do the same thing. So they believe in the same things that we did at Ghost Tunes, so we're very proud of that. Does that answer your question? You got?
I think one of the issues, because you announced that Ghost Tunes in 2014 actually in Chicago.
Right.
Before you began that run.
Yes, sir.
For 11 days. And I think one of your big issues then was you didn't feel like the artists were in charge when these other streaming services were offering their platforms.
Right.
And there was issues of compensation as well as mentioned. What has happened in the last 2.5 years to make you change your mind or at least think that Amazon can do it better than these other services?
Well, let's make sure our terminology is the same so we're talking the same. You're saying streaming, I'm saying digital downloading is what Ghost Tunes was for. I don't think we streamed on Ghost Tunes. I know it was always a dream of ours to be a streaming company, but I don't think we ever got to that level at Ghost Tunes. And so here's a company that comes along that does exactly what Ghost Tunes does and allows you the freedoms that other digital downloading companies did not. You can set your price, you can set album only, all the things that the major, what we would all think in this room is the major digital downloader would never do. So when this company came along and had the same beliefs that we did, and yet this company is, quote, as the most trusted retail online experience on the planet, then that kind of opens it up for billions instead of thousands. Does that make any sense? So we thought it was a great move to just shift over there and make sure that any artists that were on Ghost Tunes, all those stuff, they understood what Amazon stood for as well. Yes, sir.
Kelly with the Dallas Morning News.
Hey, Kelly.
You mentioned in the past that when it came to streaming and digital downloads, you weren't a fan of people cherry picking songs. You were a full album guy. I want to say I remember a full.
Right.
And I totally relate to that. So isn't there something to be said for the consumer who isn't maybe a full album guy or gal who wants to cherry pick? And how is that? How do you balance that as being the kind of business owner, but also
Oh, yeah.
wanting to give a customer a good deal?
No problem at all. Kelly, are you married or are you?
Yeah.
Okay, did you remember the song you had at your wedding by any chance? What was it?
Yeah, actually, Elvis walked us down to Fools Rush In and right over, yeah.
Beautiful.
Fall in Love, yeah.
Beautiful. So Fools Rush In. Fools Rush In might be one of the greatest songs ever recorded. Is it worth more than 99 cents?
I mean,
That song that you just walked down the aisle with your wife is worth more than $1.
emotionally?
Yeah, you betcha. So me and Miss Sherwood are at a movie theater probably 2 months ago, maybe. What tour time goes away, forgive me. This couple comes in, they're late anyway. They come in, and the tickets to this thing aren't cheap, right? So they come in, they sit down in front of us, they watch about 30 minutes of the film, get up and leave. They've just blown probably $25. And you're telling me $10 for an album that has Fools Rush In on it, that you're going to remember the rest of your life, isn't worth $10. That song alone is worth $10. What happens on the thing, and this is what Ryan's over here going, don't go there, don't go there.
No, it's all good.
He got the school of how songwriters work. Songwriters, how the system works is when the albums came out, the guys that got album cuts, then they could stay in town for 3 more months, 4 more months. Maybe get an album cut somewhere else. They could keep staying until one night, as the boys who make the noise on 16th Avenue says, that one night in one empty room where no curtains ever hung, like a miracle, some golden words roll off of someone's tongue. That's the night. That's the night we got to keep these songwriters in town to happen. When they write, Fools Rush In. You know? And how that happens is from album sales, album cuts for me. So we can, I work with songwriters every day. Every day I'm writing. And you can traipse any of them out here, and they'll tell you how important the album is. What I love was Amazon got it. Where the other 2 streaming companies could not provide was, one could not provide digital downloads at all or physical. The other one was digital, could not do physical. And so here's the company that does it all. And for me, that takes care of the songwriter. You take care of the songwriter, the music's going to take care of everything else. I hope that answered your question. Yes, sir. Hey, Jonathan.
Yeah, you've been doing the Facebook Lives on Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about what you like to connect with the fans and their experience?
And so your name again for me? Jonathan. Jonathan, I got a guy over here to my left, Brian Moore. He's over here. I'm going to embarrass him for a second and see if he's over there and bring him out. I'm also going to let him talk about this because he's the social guy. So I can tell you what it's like for me as an artist. He'll tell you what it's like for socials. Just some plain theories on what social networking should be. For me, and please, I'm just talking
Come on up,
about,
Brian. You got it.
There you are, Brian. I'm just talking about me, so please don't associate this with anybody else that's been in the press lately that's tweeting their ass off. Okay? For me, just throwing it out there and throwing it out there and throwing it out there, I don't dig that. Not for me. What I'd much rather do like this, like with Kelly, even though we're sitting here in a tense conversation, we're talking to each other, right? That's what I want. I want interaction. I want back and forth, man. Why are you doing this? Why are you not doing this kind of thing? And so everybody's been very sweet that way. So Inside Studio G allows conversation. And that's what we call it, is Monday Night Conversation. Why we're on the train with Facebook is the stuff you're seeing now was probably 2 years ago they came to approach us. The stuff that they're on now that we don't have yet, the conversation's going to get really like in this room conversation, that quick time stuff. So that's where it's heading. But you might want to explain to them why you chose, because Inside Studio G was something that you could have turned down or not.
Well, I thought, when I first started working with Garth and, he talked about when going on social media, he was resistant to it at first, but the most important thing to him was the actual connection and creating a really dynamic fan experience. He didn't want to be someone who was out there pushing information at people. And then when Facebook came to us with Facebook Live, and Garth was actually one of the very, very, very first talent on Facebook Live, I was like, oh, this is something I could see working for him, because anybody who's met Garth knows that he will stand there and talk to people, and it's all about that like one-on-one connection. So with Garth and Facebook Live and his Inside Studio G, we were able to create this experience where he had a one-on-one connection with everybody who's watching, and he was able to take them on the journey of creating his last album. Do you know what I mean? Which was awesome, and people wrote in, and it was, they got to have the curtain pulled for them in a new way. And not only were they watching behind the scenes, but they got to talk to Garth every step of the way, and he was talking to them. And I think it's a very different use for how talent uses social media, because Garth's objective is different. His objective is, how can I create something for my fans, not how can I get something. And I think that's what makes it work. And I think that's the key to why he's been so successful on Facebook Live.
Very sweet. That answer your question? Yeah. Yes, sir.
Garth, I'm Casey from the Channel 7 here in Austin.
Hey, Casey.
What's the show going to be like tomorrow? Give us a preview.
I don't know. I have no clue. They know if they tell me something, Ryan will tell you. If they tell me something, I'm going to blab it. So they've kind of kept all this kind of secret from me. I'm still not sure what the schedule is about today. I know something's going to go on tonight that's not planned. That's all I know. And that's all they'll tell me, because they knew then I would tell you that. And so I think the thing is, anytime you can get in a room when we talked about content, anytime you can get me in a space where I look left and right, there's Jimmy Mattingly. Played fiddle with him for 100 years. You look left, there's Mark Greenwood. Played bass with him since '94. Now I'm in my element. Look out there. Hopefully there are people that know the Thunder Rolls, Friends in Low Places, Call 'em Baton Rouge. Now you've just set me down in what I believe that I was put down here to do. And once I get there, it's like, you're home, no matter where you're at. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is just going in. And the fact that this is a pulled-together last-minute thing, then you're going to have all your feelers out. You're going to be learning as you're singing. You're going to find out what they're looking for, and you're going to find a way to give it to them at just the right time. Because as an entertainer, hopefully that's one of the things that you do if you're lucky enough to be a success at it. Yes, sir.
Joe, also from Billboard.
Hey, Joe.
You have a keynote speech later today.
Yes, sir.
What can we look forward to with that?
Ooh, you might have to help me with that one.
I might just replay the last 15 minutes here. Garth will be talking to Steve Boom, who runs worldwide Amazon Music, and I think it's just kind of more of a fireside chat. You guys are just going to talk about the music business.
Is it going to get more into the technical stuff, numbers?
More of the
and stuff?
technical stuff, and just some details of kind of the partnership, and just I think generally kind of where we see music going from Amazon's perspective and also Garth's perspective. So.
It's no secret to anyone that I'm very involved in my business. And so people think I have a marketing degree. I have an advertising degree, actually. And people think that I know the numbers inside and out. I don't, because here's my theory. Commerce and art should never mix. Find the people you love and trust to take care of the commerce part of it. But the art part is your bag. That's where you do your thing. So, yeah, I know enough just to be dangerous. Yes, I do have an MBA. And, yes, I did enjoy going back and getting that. But the truth is, my job is the fun. My job is the art. My job is the music. You take care of that, then hopefully these guys' world will be taken care of, because the art becomes commerce once it crosses that line for them. For me, if I can always keep it art, then I can sleep at night and feel like I'm not an asshole or a marketing bastard that all I'm thinking about is this and that. I really love just playing the music. Like I said, getting to hear those licks that Rob Hajagas did 25 years ago, and then getting to hear the new stuff. You know, Bruce Boughton played on that first single, and Bruce Boughton just played on Ask Me How I Know on Steel. Just beautiful stuff. So I love to see the circles complete, and that's the world I try and stay in.
The math isn't difficult. You have the opportunity to do an exclusive partnership with the #1 selling solo artist of all time. That's pretty easy math. So,
yeah, that came out of nowhere, too. I mean, Spotify came in, Daniel Eck came down and sit with me. Sweet man. I love Daniel. He's a great guy. I think he gets a lot of crap. His parents both were street musicians. He's a good guy that understands music. I think wants to help and believes 100% he's helping. Apple's a little different story. They came in with their own set of rules, and if you were already established, you had to change to get to them. I'm never going to change to fit their rules. So nice guys. We have respect for each other. We're just never going to work together. And so we were kind of dead in the water, because if you ain't streaming, and out of the blue, thank God, Amazon shows up and wants to get in the streaming business. And very sweet, very humbling, very flattering when they came in to talk about it, and the views that they shared seemed to correlate with the views that we share.
Yeah, good alignment.
Yes, sir.
Gary again.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of the arts, since you were so lazy with content last fall, wondering what you have planned next, if you're working on a new album or other project, and also, with Amazon, what's in the vaults that you'd like to start bringing?
Well, you got to know that we are, I don't know how many other artists do this, and you can probably answer this. We do not leave a song behind. We just don't. Much too young to feel this damn old still sounds as good live today as it did 25 years ago. It gets a bigger response today than it did 25 years ago because it's had 25 years of people knowing him. So let's take this, and I'm sorry to get the long way around to your answer. For some reason right now, and again, it might be where we're all at politically, whatever, We Shall Be Free is blowing up. I wish I could explain it. That song's 25 years old. And I think it's more relevant. This is probably an egotistical statement or not mine to say. It may be more relevant now than what it was when it was released. I will tell you this, it's 1,000 times more accepted now than it was when it was released. And I think it fits today's times even better than when it was released. So those are one of those things that you got very fortunate on, and thank God you saddled up with, an Austin songwriter, Stephanie Davis, that wrote that song 25 years ago, and she knew what was coming. So because of that, we don't leave our stuff behind. So packages, different packages. One of the things we're talking about with him is you got to understand we also have the guitar demo of every one of those singles. It's either by the songwriter, by myself, and you hear how the lyric change. We've got a guy named Kim Williams that wrote a lot of the songs for us. Kim just recently passed away. And when his wife cleaned out his office, he was running cassette tapes the whole entire writing session. So you get to see Papa Love Mama going from a song about a train to a song about a truck. It's pretty cool. All these little different shifts. And you go, oh, that's what that original lyric was, and this is how they got to hear. I think the people that like our stuff, I'm a James Taylor nut. I'm a George Strait nut. If these guys came out with tapes of James Taylor singing, "In My Mind, I'm Going to Nebraska," right? And then somehow it gets around to Carolina, I want to know how that happens. That's cool. So these are things that these guys can make available, the people, and they can do it at such a volume that publishing on that stuff and all the stuff to take care of those songwriters, it can be done when the volumes are big on the older catalog stuff. So that's why we don't let it go. So new, old, everything becomes possible with these guys. The whole world becomes your oyster. So yes, new, yes, old, and it's going to be a great mixture of both. And I think it's probably going to be about the same amount of content as last year brought.
We're going to make some time for some one-on-ones that you all are aware of. But I wanted to let you know that the South by Southwest link is now live and active. So if you can help spread that news so people can get their tickets.
Very good. And anybody that asks a question, Kelly, any of you guys, and you want to ask another one, we can do it, or anybody have a question that they didn't get to ask one, we'll take it now. If not, you guys have been very respectful. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Join us.
Have a good time tomorrow night.